Attention!
Welcome to the Film Mages Podcast, where the popcorn is our ammunition, the couch is our foxhole, and the cinema is our place of worship.
Now let me see your war face.
Oh, wow.
And I raised the lights in the situation
Incredible
there.
work.
All right? That was pretty good.
Wow, yeah, no, listeners, I hope you noticed the lights in our room suddenly get
They
brighter.
just suddenly turned on when we started recording here.
Because this is a visual medium.
This is a visual medium.
Once
Always
again.
has been. If you haven't figured out within 60 episodes, this is a visual medium.
Yes.
Alexis, did you
There we
know
go.
this is episode 60? This is episode 60 of the Film Majors? The Film Majors podcast?
I did not know that this was episode 60.
Yes,
but I
60.
did listen to your episode 2 of the Purge cast. Not all of it,
Oh.
but the beginning of it. It made me laugh.
Yay!
Hey,
That's wonderful.
We should have another one of those coming out on Monday, so, get ready, get excited. No, this will come. Yeah, this will come out before the Purgecast. It's first Monday of the month, so yeah, this is our first episode of November. We're the Film Majors. Hello, I'm Zach.
I'm Mick.
I'm Alexis.
That's
Choo-choo.
Alexis.
You always have to have the
That's
dramatic pause. It's
Okay,
important.
the dramatic pause throws me off hard because it's like I'm trying to figure out how long the delay is between our Zoom and the actual response. But there is a delay because you are taking a dramatic pause.
I don't know if there's actually a delay in the Zoom. I think that I'm just slow.
Yeah. That's fair. Take credit for it, though. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's
Every
funny.
time
It's-
you guys say something, I always have this moment where I think, should I say something other than my name?
Yeah, you're
And then
always-
I always decide, no, just
Typical
say your
actor.
name. But
Yeah.
I have that moment every time. So
Yeah,
there's
where you're-
there's brain
Wait,
processing that's
so
happening on the side.
You always are like, should I say something else? But you always go, nah, I'm just going to say my name. Because that's how it always goes.
You're always
it's almost like an intrusive thought. See, this is why I'm telling you guys, like, the brain is not always my friend. That's kind of
sometimes-
stuff be happening just in regular conversation all the time.
Yeah, sometimes you're just sitting there and you're like, what's going on?
There it is. Nice.
God, I was waiting. I saw my
Hit me like
opening.
a
and
bullet.
Yep. Ooh, he's quick. He's quick at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Fastest
Hit
hand
me
in the
like a
West.
freight train.
Well, this is coming out on Friday, but we're recording on Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Happy
I
Halloween,
hope you had a
folks.
good one.
Yeah. I hope you had a really safe Halloween.
Yeah, I myself will be attending the House of Spirits Haunted Cocktail Soiree this evening.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. I went to a haunted house on Sunday. That was a lot of fun. It's
That's
called
cool.
Angel of Light.
Me too.
Nice.
Downtown Los Angeles. Where do you go, Alexis?
I went to Hobbs Grove over in Sanger, which is it's so funny because I went to Sanger High, and that was all the rage was to go to Hobbs Grove for Halloween every year. Everybody was always talking, oh, have you been to Hobbs Grove? Have you been to Hobbs Grove? And literally, I went to that school for 3 years, never fucking went to Hobbs Grove. And then my sister, when we were out there, she was like, oh, how is it that you never made it out here if you went to high school all that time? And I was like, it's because I was going to some mad fucking lit ass parties in Fresno instead of hanging out with the kids in
I was
Sanger.
too fucking
Also,
cool.
I had no car. That shit's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
I was driving out there with my sister, and I was like, I actually feel like I'm driving us out to the cornfields to be murdered.
Here's a speaking of being in a field on Halloween, here's a little bit of Zach lore that I haven't shared on the podcast. In 2019, in our college town of Arcata, California, that was the year I turned 21, and my birthday is in October, so I was going a little hard on Halloween weekend, and I went to a Halloween party in McKinleyville, which is about a 10-minute drive.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, it's about a 10-minute drive from Arcata, our college town. I did not have a car either. I was at a party with a bunch of people.
I remember this story.
Ultimate team. I went as Zach Daniels. I had a Jack Daniels t-shirt on, a black hat, brown coat, and a bottle of Jack. Towards the end of the night, I was sipping on jungle juice, playing drinking games, having a grand old time. And towards the end of the night, the guy who gave me a ride to the party was like, "Hey, Zach, we're heading out. There's another guy from our team here. He can give you a ride." And I was like, yeah, sure. And then the next thing I knew, I was in the middle of a field. I was in the middle
Was
of
it a cornfield?
No, it was just a grassy field on some farm in McKinleyville. And I was like, what the fuck? How did I... And I assumed that what my drunk ass had been thinking at the time was like, oh, I've biked to McKinleyville. It's walking distance. It is not walking distance. I had to walk out to the freeway and hitchhike back to Arcata. Which is where I, have coined the phrase that I'm too big to conveniently murder. Because there have been a couple times in my adult life where I've hitchhiked and I'm like, you'd spend days and days chopping me to bits. It'd be inconvenient.
I'm just picturing you enacting the exact scene from Texas Chainsaw Massacre where people pick you up and you just slash someone with a straight razor.
I mean, at that point, I wasn't blackout, but it's still a little fuzzy. Anyway, so this is your Halloween PSA. I guess it's probably too late now because it's coming after Halloween, but just make sure you stick with your ride. If you feel like you're getting too drunk, let them know. Don't just be like, oh well, I will nobly remove myself from this party, because you might end up in a field. So yeah, that's a Halloween safety tip from Zach Daniels.
To be a white man, that's good, especially in McKinleyville.
We could talk about fucking
you were using
McKinleyville's
that privilege
nickname,
right there, buddy.
Well, yeah, no, that is one of those things where I'm like, oh, that's probably a place where a lot of people have guns.
Yeah,
Fortunate.
Absolutely.
That is for a fact
110%.
a place that's a lot of
You're
guns.
correct.
Yeah. So
when I was up there recently for that job, there was a store in McKinleyville that was celebrating Glocktober.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well,
Not Glocktober.
It is no longer.
I celebrate
Glocktober.
Locktober, not Glocktober. So thank you very much, McKinleyville.
Was that you going to Los Bagels and getting a locked sandwich?
You know what? Yeah, let's go with that.
All right.
Love you, Mom and Dad. I
Or
love
is it
bagels.
you just getting locked up in a basement for 10 days as foreplay?
Well, yeah, but at least I had bagels. So,
Well, God, that is your fucking fantasy,
That
isn't
is,
it?
isn't it?
That's Alexis fucking hit the nail on the head.
I'm locked up in a dungeon, but hey, they brought me bagels. Lox bagels,
They
baby.
mow me.
Lots of capers.
All right. Well, pivoting slightly. Anybody seen any movies?
Yeah, hey, I finally jumped onto the train of prestige cinema, and I went and watched Killers of the Flower Moon. Very good movie. Very, very good movie. I don't think it's my favorite Scorsese film, or Scorsese, I found out.
Yeah, Scorsese. Yeah, Thelma Shoemaker.
It's Scorsese, not Scorsese. Which makes sense because Scorsese, has an Italian ring to it. It's a Martin Scorsese, not Scorsese.
Yeah.
But yeah, Killers of Flower Moon is the movie he made that I watched.
Sure did.
And,
good job, buddy.
It was very, very powerful. The ending is extremely tearful. Very, very powerful. As you alluded to in the last episode, Zach, I couldn't agree more. Robert De Niro, good God, he's still got the juice.
Yeah, I feel
He's
very,
so good.
very fortunate that we get to see a new Scorsese movie with De Niro in it.
Yeah.
In 2023, because
It's incredible.
When the fuck did Taxi Driver come out? 73? Is that
Around there.
Is that a 60-year-old movie by now?
It's coming around to it.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking crazy.
They've been in the game a long time.
They have.
Yeah, and that wasn't even the first movie they made together. They made Mean Streets.
Mean Streets.
Yeah. Jesus. Wow.
And they've done a lot since.
They sure have.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her name? Lily
Gladstone.
Lily Gladstone, incredible. Leonardo DiCaprio, incredible.
Rat fuck.
When I was leaving the cinema, I was like, yeah, rat fuck is the perfect way to describe who he was
Yeah.
and how he looked. I mean, shout out to the hair and makeup team on that movie.
They gave him some fucking nasty-ass teeth.
His false teeth are incredible. And he does this scowl throughout the whole film that's, it's just really icky.
Someone referred to him as, someone I follow on Letterboxd referred to him as Buscemified DiCaprio.
What do you mean, like Buscemi?
Like he looks a little bit like Buscemi in this movie.
Okay.
I kind of see it. I don't know. They've definitely, like, made him a little less, leading man handsome.
Oh, yeah.
Although,
For sure.
so has the ravages of time.
No, they didn't need that much help.
Sorry, again, sure. Leo, we do know that you listen to podcasts as you have sex, and you listen to this podcast. And you listen to this one. And you're doing a great job.
He's probably getting laid right now.
Yeah, congratulations. Well, I saw a movie. Alexis, you look very upset. That's, as we all know.
I just had mental images, not ones that I wanted at 7:30 in the morning.
This is how I gain my...
Tell me the movie.
This is how I gain my energy.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a film in cinemas, but it was not a new film. On Sunday, I went to go and see, my girlfriend got me a ticket to go see Destroy All Monsters, directed by Toshiro Honda. It is a Godzilla film.
Cool.
And
where'd you see it?
Brain Dead Studios.
Brain Dead Studios. I don't know what that is.
They're in Hollywood near, like, I think they're on Fairfax.
Okay.
Very fun movie, great like monster team up stuff. You've got all the good ones, all the big ones: Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah. All that good shit. However, I have a bone to pick with the audience of this film. That's one of the fucking rudest film audiences I've ever fucking seen. There was a guy on his phone in front of me, like, several times, and like. He only stopped, like, right on, like, the last time where it's like, okay, I'm gonna fucking get up and say something to this guy. There was a child who was talking for, like, a good chunk of the movie, and their parent did, like, nothing to quiet them down. And, like, there's a difference between, like...
That's a parent that's been broken down.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between, like, being a film audience, going to see, like, a, Toho... Right, Toho Studios? That's who makes the Godzilla movies? Did I get it?
Yep.
I got that right? Mm-hmm. No? Did I not?
You sure did, buddy.
No, come on. If I didn't get it.
Toho Studios.
Come on.
No, go.
Oh, what? Am I getting it wrong?
Yeah,
it's 7:30 in the morning. I might be blanking.
I'm in no position to assist.
But
I've surveyed the situation, and there's nothing I can do.
Okay. But, like, I feel like there's a difference between, cheering for when your favorite monsters show... Yeah, Toho Company. I'm right.
I said you were right. You got it.
Okay, don't make me scared like that. There's a difference between, like, cheering when your favorite...
It's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good scare.
All right. There's a difference between cheering for when your favorite monster shows up, like it's a fucking, WWE event, because I feel like those later Toho Godzilla movies are kind of like... wrestling matches, you root for your guy. There's a difference between that and just like fucking chatting through the goddamn movie. So don't do that. It's shout out to our boy writing Directino in the New Beverly, who's like, yeah, if you fucking talk once during this movie or bring your phone out, you're out of here.
Yeah.
That should be the policy. Don't be fucking rude.
I love it. Going with that metaphor, this is important. Who in the Godzilla universe, monster-wise, is the Undertaker?
Oh, man.
Do they have a Hulk Hogan in there? Who's the Hulk Hogan?
I mean, like, Godzilla's kind of the front man, and I feel like Hulk Hogan was kind of the face of the WWE, so maybe Godzilla's the Hulk Hogan.
Okay, I like that.
I need to fucking remember what
it's Godzilla. Oh, yeah, brother.
Well, that's Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, that's true.
Also known as Bonesaw. He's ready.
Macho Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alexis.
There it is.
Alexis, have you seen any films?
Have you seen?
I feel
Alexis,
like you wanted to get in there.
Alexis, have
and,
you seen any
You busted
WWE?
in with a song.
I did watch a movie. I tried to watch 2, but I was too tired to finish the second one. Oh, actually, technically, I did watch 2, and I tried to watch a third, but I couldn't finish the third one. I was too tired. The other night, I went to my sister's house. We both, went food coma, popped a gummy, and threw on Pee-wee's Big Adventure, because I was like, this feels like the right vibe for Halloween.
Yeah, it's Tim Burton.
So, yeah, it is. I mean, it's fun. We definitely passed out during the third act of the movie because we were
dead?
Legitimately coming off of I was coming off a crazy sugar high, and then I was also high as fuck.
Nice.
My sister said she was
kids.
trying to figure out if I was still what.
So there you go, kids. Your film major's high as fuck. I like it. Way to go, Alexis.
That's how we like to live.
My
It
God.
was 10 p.m. at night. It's 10 p.m. Where are your children? They should be in bed and not worrying about whether or not I'm high as fuck also in bed. You know?
Amen to that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, also, Mick, I did say R.I.P. Tim Burton, and that is because I like to think that as a filmmaker, he has been passed away since he made Big Fish.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that.
Good movie.
I've heard that.
Wait, but didn't he come out with the Corpse Bride after Big Fish?
Yeah, I'm kind of lukewarm on the Corpse Bride.
Murder. That's what I feel in my heart for you.
Straight to the
that's fine.
guillotine.
Damn it. Everybody stop sending me to the fucking guillotine. I'm sick of it.
And then I did also just last night watch Tokyo Godfathers, which is a 2003 movie by director Satoshi Kon. But you may recognize that name. You may recognize that name. And
Do I?
I
do.
honestly, after seeing another one of his movies and then seeing Tokyo Godfathers, I was like, interesting. It's quite different in a lot of ways because the other movie that I've seen obviously is a little bit more psychological, and this one's just really a mostly straight story about 3 homeless people in Tokyo. One is an older man, one is a teenage girl who's run away from home, and then the other one is a former drag queen. Which is a very interesting mix of people, to be honest. And I really liked it. It really kind of, there's this thing in Japan that's called, in Japanese, folklore, that's called, the red string of fate. And it says that, that usually the person that maybe you're going to fall in love with or something, that there will be a red string, an invisible red string tied around their pinky, and it will link you to that person. And so eventually you will find that person because you guys are linked by a string of fate. So I thought that this movie was very interesting because it kind of reminded me of that concept of just all these strings of fate are all linking all these different people within this city and within the story. And we obviously don't get to see that until, each moment comes up. But then you're like, oh shit, no, that's linked to that. Oh, that's linked to that. And it's very much like a found family kind of movie. It happens literally Christmas Eve. These 3 homeless people, they find a baby that's been abandoned on the street, basically. And they spend pretty much all night trying to find out where the mother is and everything.
Nice. Well, I've had that movie recommended to me a few times. I should check it out.
It is actually very good. I think I actually liked it better than the other movie that I saw. I did start to try to watch Paprika, which is also by Satoshi Kon. It came out a few years after Tokyo Godfathers.
Right.
Which I started it and I was like, oh my God, I'm too tired to I think fully enjoy this. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, my brain can't
Sorry,
process.
I'm going to try it again later.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lovely.
Last night, to celebrate Hallows Eve, I watched a staple, Frankenhooker, from 1990.
Fuck yeah. My boy Frank Henenlotter.
Have you seen Frankenhooker yet, Alexis?
I think I saw parts of it that you guys had on one time I was at the apartment.
Nice. Yeah, it's really funny. It's a great horror comedy. You just feel like someone
These
was like,
girls are right. This crack is killing them.
Yeah.
This super crack will do the job a whole lot faster.
It's incredible.
It's a fucking insane
The
movie.
super crack is so fantastic. Got any money? Looking for a good time? I love her. She is such... She gives such a good performance.
The woman who plays the titular Frankenhooker.
Titular is well said indeed.
Also, that is... I have long wanted to do I think I've pitched this as a big topic before, best movie taglines of all time.
Yeah.
And I think Frankenhooker maybe is like up there in my favorites because the tagline for Frankenhooker is a terrifying tale of sluts and bolts.
Yeah, it's
that's a fucking good bit. But yeah, no, the
Patty
woman, Patty Mullen, who plays
Elizabeth,
the titular Frankenhooker, is so fucking good in that movie.
Yeah,
like
her facial expressions, because she's made up of all these different body parts of deceased prostitutes after having super crack, and they all blow up.
God.
And so once she's all put together, she is brought to life just like, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein through the use of a lightning rod. And so, she's crammed full of electricity, but she's got too much. She's overjuiced. So every now and then she'll kind of like short circuit a little bit. And she does that with the actress by just like doing these very wacky, like almost Jim Carrey type facial expressions.
Yeah, like
very
weird
elastic
ticks.
face.
Yeah.
It's so entertaining.
Yeah.
It's so entertaining. Yeah. Zorro, the pimp. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
he can't act at all.
That is a movie that is like
got.
a great example of like what John Waters would call good bad taste.
Yes, exactly.
That I love that movie so much. Also, speaking of John Waters, I've got to get to the fucking Academy Museum to go see the Pope of Trash exhibit.
Please tell me how it is.
Yeah, I gotta go.
But
wonderful.
I love the police report in the beginning, where it's just like, it's a jigsaw. You might even say a salad of a woman. It's just
what the fuck? Good. Oh man, I also watched Gareth Evans' Apostle.
Yeah.
It's a Netflix horror movie that came out in 2018. I
damn
remember
good, right?
liking it at the time. That is such a fucking fun movie.
That's a fun
That
film.
movie's a blast. There's a whole tunnel of blood. What's better than that? Who doesn't love it? Big
Yeah.
old tunnel filled with blood. A devious hag beneath the earth. That's what I fucking live for. That's the reason for the season. Hi, Mitchie. Alexis's dog is back. Alexis's dog is back. How you doing?
I'm like begging her to stop moving around my cord.
We can't see Alexis because the dog is blocking the screen. Woo! But yeah, I watched Apostle. I watched The Blob in 1988 again.
Nice.
Went to the Cal Arts Halloween party with my buddy Sage, who hosts the Purge cast with me. Nice. All in all, good times have been had for spooky season.
I was very fortunate. My girlfriend got tickets to the Autonomous FX party, which is Autonomous FX is the special effects makeup house, and every Halloween they'll throw a big party and all these makeup artists will come out, and it was a really good time. Some of the best costumes I've ever seen. It's incredible.
Fuck yeah.
There were some really, really, really good ones. And it's funny too, you'll go up to them and say, oh my God, I love your costume. And then you find out like what they've actually worked on in real life. And it's like, well, no fucking wonder you look like this. It's fucking incredible. Yeah. There was this guy that came in that looked just like The Witcher. Henry Cavill's The Witcher, and I mean just fucking like him.
Was it his stunt double?
No, it was the guy that does the makeup for The Witcher.
Nice.
It was like, oh, wow, okay, well, you nailed it.
Good job, buddy.
Really good time. And then also last night, I watched, finally, Legion, starring Tom Hardy and Tom Hardy.
You mean Legend?
Or Legend. Wait, Legion, that's the one with Paul Bettany, isn't it?
Yes. That's
Okay.
also the
I
TV
have
show
seen
with
that
Dan
one.
Stevens.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see any of those. I saw Legend with Tom Hardy playing the Craze. And if you don't know who they are, they're two mobsters from the 1960s in England. They are identical twins. And Tom Hardy plays both Reggie Cray and the other Cray. I forget the name of the other guy. It was a great performance. Movie was, I think, a little too long. Got a little long in the tooth. But speaking of Paul Bettany, he is criminally underserved in the film. He has 2 scenes, and both scenes he's in, he absolutely steals the show. And I sometimes forget that Paul Bettany is actually very good at being completely unhinged.
Yeah.
You don't get that enough from him. He's usually playing this quiet, considered, eloquent person. He's good at that. But kind of like what Paul Thomas Anderson sees in Adam Sandler, where it's like, there's some cray-cray just right below the surface. And if you can pull that out, he can be an absolute maniac really well. And I put Paul Bettany up with that. So Legend, if you like gangster movies, it's worth checking out. They pretty much stole all of the best songs from Quentin Tarantino movies. Like it was like a who's who of which Tarantino movie this song comes from.
Well, it's too early for him.
I know.
I expected to hear a rattle at the door.
It was. Oh my God! Did you see that thing on Instagram where it's about how filming Inglourious Bastards was an awful experience for Tarantino? He said he'd never shoot in Europe again because they use the metric system,
and he's a foot guy. Yeah.
Oh my God! I got a good cackle out of me.
Man, again, we got to stop bringing him up because we're going to invoke him.
Yeah.
Alexis, do you have anything else going on?
No, I'm in tech week for the play, so I'm tired.
Fuck yeah. Well, break legs when you make your stage debut. Well,
A sleigh.
I think with that, let's hop out of what's going on. And we're back.
We are back.
Well, we are out of spooky season.
Yep.
It's November.
I'm sad about it.
The year is
Relax.
almost done.
Yep.
Alexis, where are we at?
Oh, look at that dog. Look at that good old dog.
Where are we at, Alexis?
Choo choo! Can you guys hear that shit coming in the distance? Can you hear it?
Wait,
It's the motherfucking train we about to catch. All right. Y'all were invited to the animation station.
There it is.
Oh,
Here's your conductor.
Do you think that we can afford in our
Lex.
budget those little wooden
like a slide whistle?
No. You know the little wooden train
The wooden
thing? Yeah, Alexis, you gotta get one of those.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That would be great. It's like prop comedy a little bit,
Stop.
but it's audible, so it's good for the fans.
Hell yeah.
Animation station, baby. Hell yeah.
Well, excellent. I'm so excited that we're here.
I'm feeling a little thin, almost like I'm two-dimensional because I'm an animation at the animation station.
all film is two-dimensional.
Not really.
Yes,
Not
it's a
James
two-dimensional
Cameron's hit
image.
Avatar in 3D.
I mean, yeah,
Good
but
sir.
that
my
is
God.
a visual trick that is not
What
truly
about-
in
hey,
3 dimensions.
Hey, what about Piranha 3D, buddy
Also,
boy?
same thing.
Eli Roth is in that film. How dare you, sir?
He is. I saw a prop head of Eli Roth the other day at the Mystic Museum.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alexis. This animation train is flying off the rails.
Yeah, we need to
choo-choo.
We need to get this train
Do you
back
want to
on
get
track.
back? Do you want to get back on the
Yeah,
tracks?
we need to-
we need to-
tracks
we need
because
to arrive
as soon
at our
as you
first
started
stop.
talking about 2D, all I could hear was the fucking SpongeBob episode where he makes that 2D.
Oh, he
creature.
makes Doodle Bob?
Do you remember that one?
I love Doodle Bob.
Where he's like, he was just a 2D creature in a 3D world.
Yeah, so SpongeBob knew what 3D
Ahoy,
is,
ahoy.
Zach. He's
right.
a fucking sponge.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Okay.
He didn't have a
Okay.
brain.
Yeah. Okay. Alexis, let's pull into our.
Me hoy.
Me hoy, me hoy, me hoy, me hoy, me.
Do we want to get to our first stop? Do we want this train to be on time, guys?
Oh, hey, can I just say, Doodle Bob, one of the best characters ever.
First of all, Can I just say that whatever train I'm a conductor on, that shit's not getting anywhere on time. There's going to be a ton of little
fair.
tiny stops along the way, and people are going to be like, "Are we ever going to get to our destination?" I'll be like, "No, we're taking the long way around. We're looping a couple times, but we'll get there. Don't worry."
I love it.
Yeah, well, I guess, we'll just try to sit by and enjoy the scenery.
Drop it.
Way
Yeah,
to make
right?
it sad, Zach.
So,
Wow.
guys, can you tell me
No.
what are some movies that have been Hello?
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 What are some Hello?
Hello?
What
Jesus
are some
Christ.
movies that have been on your watch list for like a criminally insane amount of time?
Okay.
Like, what are some movies that
This
you're
is-
like, I can't believe I haven't
This
fucking
is how
seen this?
this is how you fucking out us for not having seen famous movies. I like what you're doing here. You're shining the cold light of day on us.
Alexis, I'm assuming
I can start
these-
first.
Wait, hold on. Are these movies that are on our watch list that we have finally seen, or movies that are on our watch list that I still haven't seen? Because there's a lot of those.
No, it's movies that you still haven't seen. I can go first.
Oh, okay. I can rattle off so many. Go ahead,
Yeah, I have
Alexis.
some big ones.
I'm all number 1, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
You know what? I'm happy you opened with that, because I'm going to counter with A Clockwork Orange.
And I'll counter with Barry Lyndon.
Jesus.
There's all our
Love
our big
Barry
Kubricks
Lyndon.
that we haven't
Wow.
seen.
Yeah,
Love
I
Barry
love Barry
Lyndon.
Lyndon. I love 2001.
I love A Clockwork Orange.
I feel like I'll love A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Look at us. We put in the work here. The
Listen,
world's premier film podcast.
You don't get to see fucking Frankenhooker without missing a few Kubricks.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true. That's true. You know what else I haven't seen that I know both of you have seen is that Japanese movie House. Then I own that DVD,
Ooh.
that
Oh, yeah.
Criterion Collection DVD, and I still haven't watched it.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one.
House is a fucking blast.
That's great. That's a great spooky. That's a good movie to put on at a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Really great. I've done
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
It's always fun.
I mean, there's I still haven't seen a bunch of Kurosawa's, Throne of Blood.
I own that, dude.
Yeah, I know. I started
watch
watching it one time and I was sleepy. It's not the movie's fault.
That's
Ron,
the best Macbeth adaptation ever.
Ron is another one.
That's a great one.
that I haven't seen.
That I also own.
Then let's see. In terms of like, honestly, the Western genre is maybe the biggest like American genre that I am hugely behind on, and now I'm going to list a bunch of Italian movies that I haven't seen because
Spaghetti westerns.
yes, I have not seen the Before trilogy, or no, Before trilogy, the Dollars trilogy, which is a fistful of dollars for a few dollars more, and most famously, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I've only seen, in terms of John Wayne movies, I've only seen The Searchers. I have not seen, I haven't seen very much of his filmography. And yeah, I had not seen a Satoshi Kon movie until very recently. So there's a few from Zach. Also, if you like officially go back on my my watch list to things that have been on there the longest on Letterboxd, I think Terrence Malick's Badlands is one that I've had on there for like 5 years or something. So that's me. That's me outed.
I have quite a few here that are actually quite embarrassing. So
I just said I haven't seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So like, do your worst.
So I still have All That Jazz on my list.
Oh my god, that's a fucking great movie.
I've never seen that one.
That was my number
That's
one.
also on mine.
That was my number one first time watch of last year.
Nice. See, yeah, I really gotta watch it. I've never seen Cinema Paradiso,
I haven't either.
and I've heard amazing things about it. I really gotta watch that. I have never seen Dead Poet Society.
Oh wow.
Another classic. Somehow have not
Oh, that's
managed
a
to
good
see
one.
that. And then 8.5 by Fellini.
Yeah,
I gotta see
have not
that.
seen any fucking Fellini.
La Dolce Vita is really good. That's the only one I've seen. And then this one, which I'm still angry at Alexis about, I've never seen, is Amadeus.
Why are you angry at Alexis
Because
about
at least
that?
3 different occasions when I would hang out with her and we were doing period pieces. So we're already in the mood of period pieces. You need context.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, Alexis, you appreciate classical music? And she's like, yeah, I love it. Okay, great. You like F. Murray Abraham, right? Like, oh, he's such a good actor. I'm like, yeah, great. Let's watch Amadeus. And she looks at me like I'm a fucking idiot. She's like, I'm not watching Amadeus. I don't want to watch Amadeus. Now, she wasn't that outspoken about it.
It wasn't like aggressive like
It
that.
wasn't aggressive.
She just didn't.
but
She just didn't like feel like watching. Amadeus.
I would ask her about it after the fact, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I was never going to watch Amadeus with you. I had zero intention to ever watch that, and because of that, I kept putting it off, and I still haven't gotten around to it."
That sounds like a you problem.
She's cock blocking Amadeus.
So, Alexis, are there any other films that have been on your watch list for some time?
You know what? There's been a ton, but I want to needle Mick again.
No, don't needle him again.
Do it,
have
buddy.
an instant-
Do it. Hey, Animation Station's on. It's not here yet.
So I can reiterate that not only am I not going to watch this movie with you, but I'm going to be in the play first, not watch it till after the play.
Okay, so here's
so that I don't, get any
Stoking
ideas
the
about
flames.
The character, and it's
She's
Amadeus.
throwing gasoline on me.
But thank you for your suggestion for so long.
Here's a question. We had a little
See-
audio snafu. There's 4 to 5 minutes that are missing. So do we know that the audience has context that we were talking about the film Amadeus?
They better. Well, we don't know what part of the 5 or 6 minutes is missing.
Well, we know it's the last part.
Do we?
Yeah.
Is it the last part?
Yeah, I mean, you guys were talking quite a bit. I don't know exactly what I said. I think I said something because I do say some things occasionally.
Oh my
Occasionally.
god!
We're always wrong.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna
That's
feel
not
vindicated.
true.
I'm gonna feel vindicated,
First
Alexis.
Of all,
when you
first
watch,
of all, you have congratulated me for having girls flirt with you because of your clothes. That's how fucking right I am.
Hey,
my God.
Can I? First of all, thank you for that. You're right. But secondly, I'm gonna feel vindicated when you do watch Amadeus, and you're gonna be like, "This is a really good movie."
You haven't seen Amadeus.
I know it's gonna be a really
You
good
haven't
movie.
even seen it.
I know,
All you
but
did
Zach
was
said it's a good
suggest
movie.
it.
Everyone says it's a good movie. I know it's a good movie. We're all going to see it. We're all going to be like, wow, thank God Mick was right.
I can't help it if my personality is to specifically put movies to the side when other people suggest them to me. I can't help that part
like
of
that
my
with- I'm like that with
personality.
TV.
It's a flaw, but it's a personal flaw, and therefore I love it.
I'm like that with TV.
I am like that with TV
I'm
more.
on purpose not watching Game of Thrones.
I might roll that again. This might be the year.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it.
Ever?
Maybe I will someday. I'll probably do the same thing I did with Breaking Bad, where I wait until like 6 years after it's wrapped running.
Dude, we're at the 10-year mark. Game
No,
of Thrones.
since it's last
Yeah.
season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've still got 2 years. Well, Alexis.
God, I feel so old.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Because I still feel like Game of Thrones is a new show.
No, it's not.
Wow.
It's not.
That's so sad.
Yeah, no. Let me tell you, when I was working on the movie in Oregon and one of our lead actors was fucking 18 years old, I was like, I'm decrepit.
Yeah.
I'm decrepit.
18 years old in 2023,
I mean,
right?
not compared to some, but, just starting to feel it.
Wait, so the 18-year-old was born after Shrek came out?
Yep, he's a post-Shrek baby.
Oh, my God. It's tragic.
But Alexis,
crazy.
why are we talking about films that have been on our watch lists for some time?
We're talking about that because of all these different directors that we've brought up. This man, Satoshi Kon, has been, multiple of his movies have been on my watch list for the longest time, including 2006 Paprika, 2003 Tokyo Godfathers, and I believe it's 1997 Perfect
That's correct.
Blue. Who wants to read the Google thing? Because I always fuck it up every time I do.
It's important to know your limits. I can read the Google description if you would like. Here we go.
Please do, Zacky boy.
This is what Google has to say about Perfect Blue, a Satoshi Kon film. A young Japanese singer is encouraged by her agent to quit singing and pursue an acting career, beginning with a role in a murder mystery TV show.
LOL. That's it?
That's fucking it.
That's the first 10 minutes.
That was
Google.
that was it. They didn't even,
Yeah.
they didn't
And this
mention
is
the
a short
stalker or
movie.
anything.
Yeah.
Perfect Blue's a short film, and they still managed
Perfect
to
Blue's
cover
an
only
hour
a tenth of the
21.
film.
Yeah, no,
Google, you fucked up.
You know, it's kind of nice because I feel like it's been a while since we have covered a movie that Google fully did not watch.
Yeah, because it definitely watched our last one.
Yeah, it
Possession.
watched Possession. I feel like it watched most of the spooky season ones, to be honest.
Google likes spooky movies.
Yeah, but Google does, and this is kind of a spooky film.
It's spooky-ish.
Again, shouts out to Alexis. This is a good little transition movie into the animation station. But yeah, Google did not watch this film.
Google actually has PTSD, and so they've lost part of their memory of seeing this movie because of the hashtag fucking content warning for this movie that I did not know before I went into seeing this movie.
Yeah, I guess we really haven't been in the habit of doing content warnings,
and I'm glad about that.
I feel I feel like it's different than watching a movie that has a rating.
Yeah.
I feel like we should maybe just mention that. This is a
Just go
movie
into
that
it.
depicts some fucking graphic violence and sexual assault. So if that isn't stuff you want to hear about,
Gotta
then
rip off the Band-Aid.
hop on out here and we'll catch you on the flippity flop. But yeah, I had not seen this movie before, and I really enjoyed it. And it kind of made me retroactively like Black Swan a little less because I feel like it fucking cribbed all its best shit from this movie.
Yeah, that was interesting because I still have not seen it,
Right?
as we know. And I'm like, should I even watch it now?
I mean, it's a good movie. It's got great performances.
Natalie
but,
Portman's great.
Yeah, this is continuing me down the road of like, is Darren Aronofsky kind of a hack? So, but you know who's not a hack? Satoshi Kon. I found this movie like very unsettling at points, very like beautifully animated, and like initially I was like, oh haha, this is kind of cute because this is a movie from 1997 that's talking about the internet, and you've got characters being like, what's a web page?
Yeah.
But
World Wide Web, what is that?
It's kind of
Yeah.
this is kind of in the whole .com horror genre thing, where
Yes.
it's like the horrors of the internet. You're
Yeah.
gonna be killed.
Also about the horror of being perceived by the masses on the internet,
Exactly.
especially.
Like, I think that's kind of the thing that it's actually like very prescient about.
It's kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah, how the internet is going to destroy privacy and like fuck with people's self-image. Like, this movie fucking is very, very modern in that sense because what Google fucking neglects to mention in its description of this movie is the whole central conflict, which is our protagonist kind of losing her sense of self and sense of reality as she is stalked by someone over the internet who's like an obsessive fan of her from when she was a pop star, who starts criticizing her new
Is her
public
name-
image as an actress in like racier content.
It's kind of like if John Doe from Seven was like a freaky, like hyper celebrity fan stalker type, like sending you like faxes of shit that are like letters that are just like really drawn on or cut together with like magazine clippings and shit.
Yeah, and her stalker starts writing in the perspective of her pop idol
Like on a
persona.
fan blog.
This fan page.
Yeah. What's her name? Is it
Mima's
Mika?
Room. Mima. Mima.
Mima.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm Mima.
what is the name of the webpage? Mima's Room.
Yes.
And it's literally just like almost as if from the first person perspective of herself writing about all of her daily tasks. And like the first time she opens it, it's kind of like this, oh how funny. Like, oh, somebody like really cares about me enough to like, you know, take the time to like create something like this. And then as she reads it longer and longer, she's like, how do they know all these fucking details? What the fuck?
Yeah, this person is watching me.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I would say that was one note that I made is like when she's like, oh, wow, this person like really knows me. Haha. I was like, this is not charming. I would for at no point, not even at the beginning of this, before we're listing details that like make it clear that this person can like see me in my home. This is not charming or cute. I don't like it.
I do love the interaction with that webpage though, as like a direct link to like her kind of losing her sense of self, because she's reading about herself from the first person perspective, as if she's the person that's living this idealized life. And because things in her like current career, having made the move from being a pop star to from a music star to a movie star, isn't quite going exactly how she imagined or I think hoped. She's like losing this sense of, what should I really be doing with my life? Is this even the life that I wanted for myself? Or is this life that this other person has created what I should be doing? It's very fun. Very interesting.
Yeah. And the I guess the other kind of like twist of this movie is you realize at the end that she's like not the only person who's kind of got this delusion based on like her, you know, conflict between her pop idol persona and, you know, her new life as an actress. Her agent who tried to be a pop star has also like had kind of a break with reality and is trying to kind of become Mima's pop star persona and is killing people. Yeah, well, maybe a lot.
Yeah, maybe a lot.
But
credit where credit is due.
Yeah, Mima hasn't realized this because she's also, you know, suffering from delusions. And ultimately, this movie does kind of end on like a more positive note than something like Black Swan. Because Mima has kind of like asserted her sense of self and like come to grasps with reality and is not, you know, so lost in the world's perceptions of her, which, you know, I think is nice and is, you know, less bleak than what the world has maybe become after the advent of the internet.
Yeah, this was also my first.
But you get our podcast.
Hadn't seen it before. I don't even think this was on my watch list, but I've heard of Perfect Blue before, and I know people that are really into anime have all said that it's a fantastic film. So I knew that going into it, and I think, this is kind of, I guess you could say, kind of the serial killer genre.
Yes,
it's
this movie
definitely
this movie fucking loves Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, it reminds me of some of my favorite serial killer films, and then also the whole multiple personalities. You know, it goes into that, which is always fun for that genre. I think my favorite part of this movie, though, is its kind of scathing critique of the entertainment business.
Yes.
Though. How it really shines a light, holds a mirror to the kind of the insidious nature that thankfully is going away slowly, not fast enough, but just the idea that, you know, in order to basically be a brand, to be a cash cow, that you can and should do really everything that your management says or your studio says and stuff like that, to the point of putting women into really dangerous situations just for the sake of getting their name out there more, and having them do things that are just really inappropriate and not at the benefit of them at all. And it's really just people taking advantage of someone that is susceptible to that. And yeah.
I think there's also the added layer because like in like K-pop and J-pop and those kinds of things, like in the culture, I'm not saying this as like very, very broad generalization, but just something that I've kind of seen like over time is like, and it also obviously happens here in America. Like we've seen it with Britney Spears and like, you know, all of our pop stars as well, is this like kind of, regression to like purity culture and the perception that like if these girls don't stay with their pure image, then they it's almost like they break the trust of their audience and their audience's perception of what a good woman is, which is what they're supposed to kind of be the idealized version of for their fans. So, yeah,
I know that's a big issue with K-pop.
As soon as the manager was like, you should do something sexual, I was like, no one's going to like that. No one's going to like, on top of this is probably bad for you. No one in that culture is going to like that pivot.
Well, it is that just like thing that fucking men have, you know, that like Madonna whore complex.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, you know, you need to be. It's like a thing that like you see particularly projected onto, you know, female celebrities. It's like, oh, you know, you have to be attractive, but you also have to be pure. And if you're not pure, then you're sinful and we hate you. And like, you know, with the me maniac stalker guy, like that's again another fucking like predictive thing about this movie is like basically the first cinematic depiction of a fucking incel, you know? Yeah. Like this guy who is fucking gross. He's gross. He's nasty.
That
he's
man
fucking
is animated so fucked up.
Yeah, you can smell
like
him.
Every time
disgusting.
you look at him, you're like, are your eyes going the right way? Your skin's gray. Your eyes have this low-key, almost like yellow cream tinge to them. He looked so nasty every time I saw him on screen.
Yeah, you see him in his little fucking like internet goon cave, and you're like, I know it smells crazy in there. Disgusting, and yeah, like this gross guy projecting, you know, conservative ideas of womanhood through the fucking internet, and like feeling like he possesses this person. Like there's a great shot early in this movie of him at Mima's last concert with the pop group she's in at the beginning, Chom, where you see him like holding his hand up in front of his eye, and you see from his perspective he's like holding Mima in the palm of his hand. Yeah, really, really unsettling stuff.
I think it's interesting that what is the relationship again with the woman and Mima, the woman who ends up being batshit crazy?
She's her agent.
So I think it's interesting that the agent is also animated in a way where her eyes are also kind of in a weird spot in her head, just
crazy,
like the
right?
meme stalker. It's almost like if you got weird, untrustworthy eyes, you don't trust them.
Yeah. I guess that gets into like, you know, physically unattractive people in horror being seen as dangerous, which maybe isn't great, but also like it is creepy in this movie.
Very representative of the fat phobia as well in Japan.
Yeah, I definitely picked up on that.
Yeah, that's not great. I'd like to talk about something that I think this movie does really well, though, which is use editing to disorient you.
Oh yeah, I was lost a lot throughout this film. It got me multiple times.
Like, yeah, this movie is just like really good at messing with time by like, you know, cutting out of a scene quickly back to Mima in her apartment waking up, and you're like, well, are we repeating scenes? But then it's like, oh no, this is a day later.
Yeah.
Like making us feel lost along with our protagonist.
And this is also a great transition film from our last episode of Madness, because this movie, what you're touching on, Zach, does a really good job of making you feel like your brain is betraying you.
Yeah.
And that is such a frightful feeling, that the one thing that we can rely on is our cognitive ability. And when we can't even trust that, when we go to sleep and we don't know where we're going to wake up or after doing what, it's incredibly frightening. Yeah. And also with the intercutting between the TV show that she's starring in and the actual life, like multiple times I was like, wait, what happened to Mima? Oh shit! Oh fuck! Okay, it's a TV show. Okay, all right, I'm with you.
But then also like things that actually happened.
Yeah,
echo the TV show. Sorry, Alexis, you were saying?
There's also the added reality of like where the TV show. Well, not the added reality, the added layer of like the plot of the TV show has her as this character who starts out pretty normal and also starts to lose their sense of reality because it turns out that her character that was just kind of a side character turns out to be the actual villain of this like psychological thriller and is like convinced that they're actually like a pop star and like has like multiple personalities. So it's like all this shit's going on in her real life. She's having to like drop into a character who's losing her sense of reality, and her fucking like home life is also all fucked up too.
Yeah, the beyond like Black Swan obviously taking a good amount of influence from this movie. If you've seen BoJack Horseman all the way through, the 5th season of that has like some very similar stuff going on, and like someone losing touch with reality and, you know, their life kind of mirroring a show that they're in. And I, like, having seen this now, I'm like, oh, yeah, that was definitely also very inspired by Perfect Blue. What was I thinking about this? I wrote down, it's funny how insane handwriting translates despite me not knowing the Japanese alphabet. When someone's writing crazy, you can tell.
Oh yeah.
The like insane faxes that she's getting. Even if there were no subtitles, if I was just like watching this movie being like, okay, this is just a visual experience for me, I'd be like, ooh, he's not well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, okay. This is the other thing that I was thinking about. I do like how this movie does kind of give you some keys on how to like navigate your way through what's delusion and what's real with its use of lighting. Because it was funny, Mick, that you said something about reflect like mirrors and light earlier, because like this movie very much plays with both reflection imagery and like blinding white light imagery. And that like blinding white light you always see when Mima is having a delusion or something is not as it seems. Like her, you know, pop star persona avatar that she starts seeing that like comes out of the computer is like appears as this like glowing kind of angelic figure. And like, you know, the in the final scene where she's having her confrontation with her agent, the agent, when they're fighting, she gets, you know, knocked out into the road and is about to be hit by a car, and the agent, who's in this delusional state, is like looking at this car's headlights, but she sees them as like these blinding stage lights. And then like in contrast, when there's something real going on with Mima, you see her kind of in darker, more shadowy environments. Like you know that the confrontation she's having with the fucking me-maniac who's trying to kill her, you know that that's happening for real because it's all shrouded in darkness. And I think that also like is a good visual metaphor for you know, what's going on with Mima as like a person in conflict with this like squeaky clean, like perfect kind of image of herself, where it's like, oh, the perfect version of Mima is like glowing with heavenly light, and this real, more flawed like human being, but she's shrouded in darkness. So I like that. I like a movie that kind of tells you how to watch it. And I think if I rewatch this movie, which I think I probably will, because I enjoyed it quite a bit, I think that it kind of gives you a roadmap if you pick up on it to gain more from it on a second viewing.
Yeah. I really, it's, so when I saw this movie, I also did not know that there was going to be like, not only is there like a scene where they're doing the TV show and her character is supposed to be like sexually assaulted, like literally like gang raped. But also towards the very end, the Me Maniac guy also tries to like assault her. So once again, just the whole thing of like how misogyny just tries to chew people up in the entertainment industry. But
and the framing
I kind
is the
of was
same.
feeling some type of way about that fucking agent as soon as like that original like in the TV show assault scene happens, and then she's just watching and she starts crying and literally just leaves. I was like, something's going on with this bitch. I don't know what. Also, side note, on the Film Majors, we never condone murder, but all of those dudes that got nuked had it fucking coming to them.
Yeah, where the fuck was our intimacy coordinator on set?
In the slightest.
Yeah, no, a fella who gets fucking stabbed in the dick had it coming. I like how in a movie that's all about perception, what happens to the murder victims? Class? Do we
Tell
have an
us,
answer?
teacher.
Oh, is that a question?
Yeah.
Oh.
What happens to them?
What'd you say?
What happens to the murder victims in a movie that's all about perception?
I don't know.
They get their
They get
fucking
their
eyes
eyes
stabbed
plucked
out.
out.
Yes,
there you
that's
go.
correct.
Nice.
Yes, A plus. Yeah, no, I thought that was cool. I literally just have a note in here that says I would not be amused by this website.
Yeah, the violence in this the violence in this movie is quite graphic. I mean, aside from the sexual violence, but the
murders.
Yeah, the murders with the eyes gouged out, with the photographer, the creepy ass photographer.
Yeah,
that
just fucking drooling.
What is that? Was that a screwdriver that she went to town on him on? That was real. I don't know why I've never seen someone. At least I can't remember the last time I've seen someone in a movie like reach for a phone to like call the cops, and they just get stabbed right through the hand and through the phone. That shit was badass. That shit was tight. I really enjoyed that. I was like,
know, good deaths.
This is fucking man. This movie's going all the way.
This is kind of a good for her movie.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I also just like talking about this as a movie about being in the public eye and being the horrors of being perceived. I think that it opens in a really smart way where before we ever meet Mima, the first like scene is just the camera kind of going through this crowd of people and hearing everyone's fucking opinions on this woman before we ever get to meet her. It's, creating this version of her that doesn't exist. And, this then becomes a movie of her contending with that.
And you know what else I also really enjoy is just like the kind of the horror of uncertainty when you are pursuing art, in the way that she decides to make a break from this pop idol figurine that she's become to become a quote unquote more serious actress or whatever. And as soon as she kind of does that, she gets all this backlash, obviously. But then her two, they turned the band Cham, which was a three-girl trio, into a duo, and they actually end up on like the Billboard charts for the first time as a duo. And so they're suddenly getting this success. She's getting all this flack from being in this TV show and like with this more adult content. And I think that that's kind of what adds to this this breakdown, if you will, of, you know, not only the horrors of being perceived, but the horror of uncertainty in an industry that could literally just chew you up and spit you out, you know, and you wouldn't have anything to fall back on, basically.
Yeah, a couple of things on that. One, I think another thing that this movie's kind of predictive of, which, I mean, was probably something going on at the time, but I think has only gotten worse, is public outcry of, art with adult themes and adult subject matter. Like this is like somewhat different, but like judgment of people who participate in like fucking sex scenes, you know, like that there is on the fucking cursed Elon Musk app that I'm no longer on. Like when I was on there reliably, like every 3 months, there's some fucking dumb shit discussion of like, should there be sex in movies? It's actually bad and wrong for there to be sexual content in movies. And anyone who puts it in there is bad. Like this puritanical judgment of people who want to explore more adult subject matter. That has only increased and gotten worse with the advent of the internet. And then just from a story perspective, Mima is so like the right level of celebrity for this story for you to feel, for her to feel really fucking vulnerable. And again, I think comes into
she's still in her own apartment.
Yeah, like she doesn't have a fucking security team. She's living in like this like one like it's a studio apartment, like a 1-room apartment by herself with her fucking fish. Yeah. Like, you know, she has all of the
Oh my god, the fucking fish.
Yeah. She has
that
all
made
of
me sad.
R.I.P. Maurice. Matisse.
Maurice. Matisse.
Yeah.
But hey, you tried. I give you credit.
Well, but like it's something that, you know, you see with people, you know, becoming like internet micro celebrities. It's like it's all of the you know, exposure of being in the public eye, but none of the, you know, benefit of achieving
money,
like money and security through being famous. It's I really felt for her. I was very frightened for me.
I know. I was like just all alone in this apartment.
Do not
just
perceive me.
Basically watching somebody watch her.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's an interesting thing is like, you know, movies like to obviously play with voyeurism because like voyeurism is all about watching and you watch a fucking movie. But I feel like it's maybe more common to, you know, be put in the perspective of the voyeur than, you know, be put in the, like, you know, you look at something like Halloween, where it's like, oh, you get Michael's POV, or you look at something like Rear Window, where it's like, oh, I've observed the crime and now I must watch my neighbors. And like this movie does have like some, you know, shots where it's like, oh, it feels like we are watching Mima, but more often than that, we're in Mima's perspective, feeling eyes on us. And I think that's kind of more rare and is very, very troubling and like upsetting to be in that position.
Big cry.
It is a big cry. We got any notes? We got any notes? We got any stuff that we want to bring up about this film?
I thought it was a beautiful movie.
It is a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it's animated very well. I gotta say that shot where she's in the train and you see the cityscape going by and then you get her reflection and everything. I thought that's really well done.
Yeah,
really well done. Very beautiful.
Yeah, no,
this guy Satoshi Kon, because now that I've seen like 2 and a quarter movies, he does really love to play with reflections and stuff. And I think that for him to have been doing that with like animation in the 90s, I don't know, it's interesting to see like how far the genre has like come, and especially with like as many like series as we have now that are like available with the advent of like how popular anime has become. It's very exciting to see things like from so far back in the 90s playing with these, just like different film techniques, within the animation. So.
Yeah, well, I know it was something that Satoshi Kon said that, he never wanted to work in live action because his editing style is too fast. I watched a video essay on him, and something that he likes to do is remove frames to make information come in faster, and that's something that's difficult in live action. But some of our favorite live action directors do that. We talked at length about Mad Max Fury Road, and George Miller likes to speed up his editing by removing frames, which I think makes sense that like someone else who likes to do that is an animator, because that movie Mad Max is like so planned to the fucking image, like so storyboarded that like it feels almost like an animated film in some ways, where there's just like so much control being exerted over the image. I think this is again, not to fucking circle back to the cursed bird app, but like this is another thing that I've like seen in film discussion a lot, is like people being like animation is cinema, animation is not a genre, it's a medium. But like I feel like oftentimes the examples listed are all like, it's a children's film, it's a children's film, it's a film for children, it's a children's film, it's a children's film, and it's like these are good films, but like some of them are not. But like you're not helping.
I know so many animated movies that are just so not children's movies.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like when you are doing that and like only listing you're not fucking Disney or Pixar movies, you're not really arguing for the notion that animation is cinema. You're trying to justify only consuming media that you consumed as a child, and the point you are making is correct, that animation is not a genre, it's a medium, but like expand your horizons. You can also watch animated films for adults like Perfect Blue, which is a really fucking good one. Yep. Or like Mad God that came out last year, the Phil Tippett movie.
I really want to rewatch that.
Which is like, another movie that like makes me super fucking scared and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And there are also animated films for adults that will not, make you super scared and uncomfortable if that's not your thing. But there are some really fucking good ones that will. Yeah. Expand your horizons. If you're gonna tell me that animation is cinema, then develop a little bit of variety in your interest. So that's my message from the animation station. And watch a movie for grown-ups.
Yeah, there you go.
You
I
can also
agree.
watch a movie for kids. We'll watch a movie for grown-ups.
As a palate cleanser.
Yeah. Variety is the spice of life.
Indeed. You know, here's the thing, is that this month is set up so that the first half is, dare I say, using the act of novelty, because both of our first two movies are movies that I have actually never seen. And our last two movies will be movies that I have seen multiple times before.
I am like so sure of what either the second to last or the last movie of this month is.
I think I know what it's going to be too.
I think we've both cracked your code, Alexis.
Yeah.
You know what? It's been a long time coming.
Well, before I list off the movie that we will be watching next week, I will let you guys know what I will be trying to finish on this week's watch list, which was Paprika.
Nice.
And The Belladonna of Sadness.
What's the bell? I've heard of that movie.
It's also a Japanese animated movie, but it's from 1973.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And there's some sexual assault in it. It says a peasant woman is raped by the local lord on her wedding night. To take revenge, she makes a pact with the devil himself, who appears as an erotic sprite and transforms her into a black-robed vision of madness and desire.
Well, that sounds like that fucking rocks.
Yeah. Alexis staying on brand.
Right.
I like it.
Listen.
Heck yeah,
I love appearing as an erotic sprite.
Same. God, we have so much in common.
We're all
It's
into
like
that
we host
here.
a podcast together or something.
Moving into next week's watch list, I have The Wind Rises. I believe that was from 2013 or 2014, which is actually a Miyazaki directed movie by Studio Ghibli.
Yeah,
I will also be trying to rewatch. Yeah, I've seen that movie before. I saw it in theaters when it came out.
That's the only
and
Ghibli movie I've seen in
sad,
theaters.
as they always are. I will also be trying to rewatch Grave of the Fireflies. I will be trying to see Ghost in the Shell for the first time.
I need to watch that movie. That speaking of movies that have been on your watch list forever, Ghost in the Shell has, like, as someone who fucking loves The Matrix, I should have seen Ghost in the Shell by now.
Same.
The Scarlett Johansson one.
That's been on like my watch list, I think, since like high school, possibly.
Wow.
Guys, do you remember when they
So
made
I really
that?
needed to get around to that.
I remember.
You remember when they made that live action and then they used CGI to make Scarlett Johansson look more Asian?
Oh, yeah. Classic.
I'm still trying to forget that.
No, you listen, never forget.
Never forget.
So the movie that we're covering next week on our next stop on the Choo Choo Animation Station train ride
Aboard!
is 1991's Only Yesterday, directed by Isao Takahata of Studio Ghibli fame.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.
Yay.
Love it. Well, I'm super excited for that. And where can you find that movie?
Zach, you know what? I thought you would never ask, and because of that, I absolutely had that brought up on
Yeah, you're
my,
not punching
on my
it in
phone,
on
and
your
I'm not
phone.
frantically looking for it at this
Nope,
That's not
what's
time.
happening.
But you can watch it on Max. It's available
Max.
with the subscription. You can also watch it with the premium subscription on Amazon Prime, or you can rent it wherever the fuck you rent movies.
Sweet.
Fun.
Well, awesome. I can't wait to watch it. And if you want to find us, the Film Majors, you can find us on social media at Film Majors Pod on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. And if you want to shoot us an email, tell us, what are some of your favorite animated films? Have you seen any for adults? Watch some. You can email us at filmmakerspod@gmail.com. This is my battle against America becoming baby-brained. Go ahead and shoot us an email and tell us what you've been watching, what you enjoyed. And we'll catch you on the next one.
See you next week.